Good morning, students. Good to see you all early in the morning. Well, the number of students is not as we have in the regular class, but maybe because it's a first lecture, so students have not joined in the regular number. But anyways, we'll be discussing theory questions, and I will request all of you to just share these questions, which we will discuss important questions for university exam that you share with your friends, those who are not in the lecture currently. So let us start. Now, before I start, I'll just dictate few of the question and I'll discuss with you some points related to it. So I request you to have a pen and paper and make a list out of it. So I'll be making right around 18-20 questions. So if you can just prepare those 15 to 20 questions, I think that will be good enough to score at least anywhere between 8 to 10 marks you can score out of 12 marks question for theory question. So this is what I expect from all of you. Am I audible properly? Okay. So without wasting much time, let us start. uh, I'll be giving you the question and you have to just write it. Okay, write down the question. Explain the difference between management accounting and management accountancy and financial accountancy. Explain the difference between management accountancy and financial accountancy. Now, here I just want to point out one thing, that it may be possible that whatever question I make you write may not be asked in just question 4, but anywhere in the paper with along with a sum, you may be asked a theory as well. So you need to make sure that you prepare these theories properly, because sometimes what happens, student think from the point of view of just writing short note, but it may be possible that along with the sum you have to attempt a theory as well. So your theory preparation is expected to be very good. I did give you an example of how the assessment was done in this semester as well. What a lot of weightage and lot of importance was given to writing correct theory, right? So make sure you prepare well for the theory questions and you attempt in a proper manner in exam. Okay. So first question was, explain the difference between management accountancy and financial accountancy. Next question, discuss advantages and limitations of management accountancy. Discuss advantages and limitations of management accountancy. Moving on. Next question. Next question. Tools and techniques of management accountancy. Tools and techniques of management accountancy. Tools and techniques of management accountancy. And one more question. Scope and functions of management accounting. Scope and functions of management accounting. Okay, are you all writing? In case you want me to repeat any question, you can just let me know. If you have missed it, you can just tell me at that point itself. I'll just repeat the question again. Okay, moving on to the next question. Uh, See, question number one and two, you can just ask from your friend, because if we keep on repeating the questions, we not be able to write all the questions and lecture will get over. So you can just, I just said that if you miss the question when I speak, I move on to the next. You can ask me the previous question. But if you have joined in late, you can get the questions from your friends. Okay, if possible, I'll just put this video later, the link of this video, so that if you missed this lecture and noting the important questions, you can have a look at it. Okay. Okay, next question. Methods of analyzing financial statements. Methods of analyzing financial statements. You can, this was in the form of short note. This may be also be asked as a question that discuss the methods of analyzing financial statements. Okay, next question. Limitations of financial statement. Limitations of financial statements. Okay, now basically this chapter, that is analysis and interpretation of financial statements, it's a very wide chapter and it covers a lot of topics of analyzing the financial statements. But this chapter is not for practical sums. Only theory will be asked from this chapter, so you need to prepare well for this chapter's theory. Okay, moving on to the next chapter, ratio analysis. We are going in a flow. Okay. The first chapter's weightage was management accounting's weightage was 10%, and then financial statements analysis and interpretation 15% weightage. Now we talk about ratio analysis, which has a weightage of 25%. So I'll be giving you the questions for the same. Okay. Write down the question. Importance and utility of accounting ratios. Importance and utility of accounting ratios is the next question. Importance and utility of accounting ratios. Next question. Limitations of ratio analysis. Limitations of ratio analysis. Next, Classification of accounting ratios. Classification of accounting ratios. Okay. So these are some important questions from ratio analysis. If you study them properly, you can easily, you know, can score good marks, because remembering the theory of ratio analysis chapter is easy because it's based on the ratios that you already remember for the practical purpose. So thereby, if you can prepare well for, I repeat the question, classification of accounting ratios was the last question that I said. Okay. How many questions we have written so far? 9, and we have covered 50% of the syllabus. Total 9 questions we have written so far. Thereby we have covered syllabus of 50%. Okay. Next question. See, in ratio, you can have a variation of a question which is not asked so far, but there is a possibility that they may ask an additional question which is not asked so far in the university, asking you a specific category question. And for example, uh, utility and limitations of profitability ratio. You can just write a variation of a question which is not asked so far, but they may ask you such question. So this is from my side that I'm adding because it is not asked in the university so far. Utility and limitations of profitability ratio or leverage ratios, profitability ratio, leverage ratio, liquidity ratios, turnover ratio, turnover ratio. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Have you written this question? It's a variation that may be asked in the exam related to the ratio. So far as ratio analysis is concerned, they've asked questions which are very specific to overall ratio analysis, but they can be specific to the classification of ratio. It may be asked, so you prepare accordingly what you have in these categories of ratios, so that you can answer such question if it is asked. Okay. Next question. Utility and limitations. Utility and limitations of fund flow statement. Of fund flow statement. Now, talking about these questions which I made you write just now, I've already discussed these questions when I explained you before starting the practicals, that the theory of all the chapters, if you remember. And I've also shared the notes of all the topics that I've covered through the lectures, right? So you already have the notes, plus if you have any other books, you can refer to these questions and you can prepare for the theory questions which are important so far as the exam is concerned. Okay, so importance and limitation, or utility and limitations of fund flow statement. Okay, another question from fund flow statement. Statement showing changes in working capital. Short note on statement showing changes in working capital can be asked. Statement showing changes in working capital. Okay. Next question. Difference between Statement showing changes in working capital. I'm giving you question right now for the from the chapter of fund flow statement. Okay. Next question. Importance and limitations of cash flow statement. Next question. Importance and limitations of cash flow statement. Okay. Next, given already given you difference between cash flow and fund flow. You must have written the question. Next question. Uh, Cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activities. Next, cash flow from financial activities. And one more, cash flow from investing activities. I've added some questions from my side because I think looking to the last year's paper, they have added some more question. They asked from different questions which were not asked previously. So when you prepare for your university exam, you need to prepare little more than what is already being asked in the university exam, so that you are ready for any kind of question that is asked in theory. Cash flow from investing activities was the last one. Okay, so how many questions you have written total? So I guess that's it. If you prepare these questions properly, considering you have to write for 4 marks. Now, what do you consider an ideal length of the answer for short note of 4 marks? If you have to write a short note for 4 marks, what do you consider as the ideal length of your answer? See, to be very frank with you, I discuss with students who enter in the college, first year students. I did tell them time and again that at college level, at degree level, you have to ensure that you write for 1 mark, you should write at least half page. Means a full page of your answer book you can write for 2 marks. So if a short note is for 4 marks, then you have to write around 2 to 2.5 page. That is the ideal length at college level. Okay. So for 4 marks, you need to write around 2 to 2.5 page. So just think about it. If you prepare well for the theory and you can score 3 for every 4 marks short note, you can score around 9 to 10 marks out of 12, right? And in remaining, you have lots of scope of scoring full marks remaining questions, because you have to either go for fund flow or cash flow, 14 marks ratio, and short sums for around 10 marks. So you can just calculate the total that you can end up getting if you prepare well in the theory questions. And they are not many. As such, I've listed important questions. So now your work becomes easy. You need to focus on these questions. Okay. If you have time and you want to read other questions, You are free to do that. I've given you important questions from my side that at least you need to prepare these questions well. And another advantage you have is that in question number 4, they ask you 5 questions, and out of it, you have to attempt any three. Okay, so that is the plus point you have. Okay, now in the remaining part of this lecture, I am going to discuss the paper pattern and how you have to plan writing your paper. Okay, because students do have a confusion which question comes in the option and how you have to attempt, and what chapter should be studied well and what chapter should be skipped or should be left in option. There's so many questions that may come to your mind. So I'll be sharing with you one of the paper. Okay, so stay connected. I'm just sharing with you a paper wherein we will be discussing. Okay, just a second. Okay, now this is last year's paper which I'm sharing with you, 2019. Just a second. I'm sharing on both the links, the paper, and then we will discuss how you need to plan writing and so that you can score maximum marks out of this paper. Uh, to be to be very frank with you, this is maybe the only practical subject for those who opted for banking in TY, and the second practical subject for those who opted for statistics. So this becomes an important subject to score marks. Okay, overall percentage can improve when you score good marks in this subject. I have explained you everything regarding preparation for theory, along with all the explanation of all the theory that I made you write the questions. When we did the chapter, I discussed with you all the theories. So I don't think that now there should be any confusion regarding preparation of theory questions. Okay, now I've shared the the question on both the links. I hope you can see the questions. I'm just zooming in so that becomes more clear. Okay, so this is management accounting new. Okay, now let us just skip the Gujarati part. See, now what happens is, this is also one thing that you need to remember. What happens is sometimes they give you a paper which has full Gujarati version first and then full English version, followed by full English version. Now it may also happen that they give you question wise versions. That question number one in that first sum in Gujarati version, then below that English version of that same sum. So what you have to do is you have to focus on the English version and you have to do the sum. It may be possible that there is a mistake in some of the amount in English version, but English version is to be considered while doing it. In case you think that the sum will not get the answer, the Gujarati version seems correct, then in that case, if you use Gujarati version, make a note of it that I have followed the Gujarati version and accordingly my answer is this. Okay, if this happens. One thing you have to remember that there are no corrections allowed. I mean, university does not send any corrections during exams. So whatever is the question is the final, and your paper will be assessed on the basis of the questions that they have printed. Okay. So don't worry if the answer seems quite unusual answer. For example, in ratio, sometimes students get some weird answers, but that is because the question has a mistake in it. So you don't have to worry. You have to calculate as you do it right normally. So don't have to worry regarding whether your answer is, if you have done it, if you have calculated properly, your answer is correct. You don't have to worry. Okay. So let us see the question. So the first question, as you can see, is short sums. Question number one. In that first question is finding gross profit from the information given. Okay. So this is for 3 marks from ratio. Then next question is for 2 marks. You have to calculate funds from operation. The first part of cash flow statement for 2 marks. Okay. So what you can do is, in case you don't remember how to go about it, you can just prepare adjusted P&L temporarily, and you can write funds from operation accordingly. Whatever you written on the debit side, add. Whatever you written on the credit side, you can deduct. Thereby, you can get to the answer 2 marks. Then the third short question is uh, cash flow from operating activities. Again, 3 marks. Then you can see here, state the methods of analysis of financial statement. Now, just now I made you write this question as important question. You can see it is asked for 2 marks. And here you don't have to explain any method. You have to just list out. See, they've said state the methods of analysis of financial statements. So don't just keep on writing here. You have to do smart work. Write as per the marks allotment. What students do is they start writing all the methods in detail. For 2 marks, they write 3-4 pages, which is not required. Here for 2 marks, you're you're expected to just give the answer regarding what are the methods. Okay, so just keep in mind that you need to write an entire paper, and you need to focus on the marks while writing. Okay, moving on. Next question to 14 marks. Are you able to see the paper which I'm sharing with you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see and understand how the paper is? Okay, moving on. So question 2, 14 marks, is ratio analysis. Now, time and again I told you that ratio analysis becomes a very scoring chapter if you are very good at the accounting concepts, because here for every correct ratio you can score 2 marks. See, for 14 marks you have to get answer to these 7 ratios, right? And the best part of a ratio analysis sum is it takes the least time out of all the chapters you have in your TY, entire TY, that is fifth and sixth semester. If you think you can solve the ratios, it will hardly take maximum 20 to 25 minutes for solving a sum of 14 marks. So thereby you have a lot of time for other sum. Okay, if you have grip on ratio analysis. So ratio analysis, in the option of ratio analysis, generally they give you a sum of ratio analysis, and they give you a sum of ratio analysis and theory of ratio analysis. See, this is what they have given here. So in question 2 option of ratio analysis, we have a question for 8 marks, that is question 2A, again from ratio analysis. Here you have to just calculate 3 ratios depending on the information which is given. This is going to be a tricky sum. So if you have grip over it, though it's a tricky, it will take a lot less time than any other thing that you do for 8 marks. And along with the question 2A, you have another short sum of 6 marks, again from ratio. So generally this has been the pattern of 5th semester. 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. So 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks, 6 marks. syllabus, that they give you ratio analysis. Any option of ratio analysis, they give you a short sum of ratio and a theory of ratio, or they give you two short sums of ratio. So thereby you have two questions of ratio analysis for question 2. Then question 3, as we have already discussed when we did the chapter, generally this is the pattern which is being followed. You have a question of uh, fund flow, and in option you have cash flow. So you can see here, this is the question. 2 years data is given. And so it is being written here at the end of question 3, statement showing changes in working capital, fund flow statement. And that's it. An additional account, the adjustment accounts that we prepare. So question 3 is for a fund flow statement, and then in option of question 3 we have cash flow statement. Okay, so you can just see here you're supposed to prepare cash flow here. See, it is written prepare cash flow statement as per accounting standard 3. And question number 4 is writing short notes. Meaning and nature of management accounting, functions of management accounting, objectives of financial statement, common size statement, limitation of financial statement, utility of ratio analysis. You can just make out that whatever questions you have written, it may be possible that one or two may be not there in the list, but majority will be there. So for 12 marks, if you can prepare well for the theory, you can score good marks here. So this is how your paper is going to be. So you need to plan accordingly, that how you are going to write in exam, and how you're going to focus on which kind of sums they ask in short sums. Okay, now just to uh, remind you that you can find all these questions of previous exam on the university uh, website. For any year you can just go and get your paper. Of course, don't go in the very old previous years, because then the syllabus will be different. So if you can see the last 2 3 years paper, it will guide you how you can prepare for your university exam. Okay, so in today's lecture I've tried to just give you an overall idea regarding how to uh, prepare theory, or what are the important questions you can prepare for theory, as well as how you can plan for the sums that will be asked in the exam. Many students ask that if ratio is compulsory, some ratio, in the option of ratio we are asked ratio, so ratio we need to focus. And in fund flow, cash flow, we are given options, so either we can go for fund flow, and you can skip cash flow. Well, I will not suggest that, because uh, it may happen sometime that if you prepare well for a particular chapter, for instance, fund flow statement, you have prepared well and you think that you are going to attempt fund flow. But when you read the sum of fund flow, you find the adjustments are quite difficult to understand. You think one or two adjustments you don't know properly. In that case, you can just you know you can just go with the second sum, that is cash flow, because it may be easy in that case. So but it's better you prepare well. You can have one priority in your mind, that I'll definitely go for fund flow, I definitely will go for cash flow. But you need to ensure that, but then you need to ensure that you have to you can you can just attempt the easiest of the two if you prepare both. If you just prepare one, then you have cut your options there itself. And in that case, whether you know that particular chapter, or you're not confident with that particular sum, you need to attempt that sum. You cannot just read, or you cannot just go through the option, because you're not prepared, you skip the chapter. So I'll not recommend you to skip the chapter, even though you know that either of the two you need to attempt. Practice both. You can have your uh, you know priority, that I'll go for this particular chapter only, either fund flow or cash flow, whichever you feel comfortable with. But then you need to ensure that you attempt one. Okay, so I have tried to be very clear with the topics right throughout. In the every chapter, I've given you tips and tricks how to go about it, and now I've also given you the tips how you need to prepare for your exam, considering the entire syllabus. Okay, so I hope you feel confident enough now for the exam.
So,
Now your work is just to prepare well. Everything is clear in your mind how to go about with the topics and the preparation of the paper. Okay, so just stay connected. I'll take your attendance
so,
and then we'll end this lecture.
so.
Just stay connected.